everybody, it is Melanie Mitro and Katie Ersta, and we are the hosts of the Make Chic Happen podcast.
And this podcast is for you, friend. We're going to dive into the skills, mindset, and systems you need to build a successful social media presence, and it supports your business goals.
All right, and I am Melanie Mitro, one of the co-hosts, and I have left my full-time career in early intervention to be a stay-at-home mom, and I'm seriously craving something more.
All right, and I'm Katie. I am a stage 4 cancer survivor. I absolutely love all things storytelling, and I was a teacher who truly just wanted to get the groceries paid for. Never in a million years did I see what would happen with this business.
Oh my gosh, and here we are, 10 years later, and we have built multi-million-dollar businesses from our laptop, from our kitchen tables, basically anywhere that you have Wi-Fi. And the cool part is now we get to teach other people how to do the same.
So just 2 female entrepreneurs who are wives, moms, and we're also besties who want to take you on the journey right alongside us to help you build a business that you love and a life that you desire.
All right, so come on in, check out today's episode.
Well, hey everyone, it is Katie and Melanie of the Make Chic Happen podcast here with another episode really designed to give you a roadmap for how to really start and then scale and then really see results in your business. And so today's episode is a little bit different.
Yeah.
We're going to be giving you 5 phases that we have seen and we have implemented and we teach to our own clients when it comes to really building.
Yeah.
And so today you're really getting a very, very heavy loaded podcast episode with lots of tips, lots of strategies. So if you're somebody who takes notes, this is a great episode to take notes on.
Yeah.
And if you are in the car, you're listening, you're going to want to make sure you save this episode, download it, because you're going to want to listen back. So, yeah.
Okay, so we designed something called the Chic Influencer Roadmap.
Yep.
And the reason that it's called the Roadmap is because so often, and we talk a lot about this with goal setting, if you get into your car and you say, okay, I'm going on a road trip, and I'm going to drive from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to go cross country. I'm going to end up in LA. I'm going to go to California. You don't just get in the car. Maybe you do, but you don't just get in the car and start driving without directions. You know, when we were younger, we had the fold out map. I don't know if did your parents highlight the road?
Yes.
Yes. Or the
absolutely.
triptych. Did you have a triptych
I don't
from
know what that
AAA? You would go and it would print out the parts of the segments of your trip.
Like a map quest?
Yeah. It was like a map quest, but you called it a triptych is what it was called.
Never
from
heard of
AAA.
it.
My
Okay.
parents used to do that. So
Anyways.
you would have your roadmap, and on your roadmap, you would pick cities where you were going to stop and you were going to refuel or maybe stay overnight, but you had these pit stops along the way, and they were able to say, hey, you're making progress. You're a fourth of the way there. You're half of the way there.
Wow.
And so, right? Like,
Wow.
yeah, how about
Triptych.
that? And so your roadmap, your directions, today we just plug it into our phone and off we go. That is to ensure that you get from point A to point B. It also is just assurance that you're on the right path, that if you follow the directions, you are going to achieve your final destination. You're going to have success. And in business, when it comes to building a business, there's a lot of times we feel like we're navigating blind, like we've gotten in the car and we're driving to our final destination, which is our vision, but we're not really sure how to get there. We're not sure what order we should be building the business in. And so it ends up being a process where a lot of people quit. They get frustrated. They second guess themselves. They spend a lot of time doing the wrong things in the business. And so we, as 2 women who have successfully built multiple businesses, decided that the easiest way to help business owners to build their business was to give them a map, to give them an actual roadmap for where you want to start to where you want to go to get to your final destination. And
With
those,
some triptychs, too.
with some triptychs. I'm going to have to find that, and I'm going to pull that out
so
of the
funny.
shoestrick,
Yeah.
vault so you can see what a real triptych is. Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. All
So
right.
do we want to start walking them through phases?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so phase 1 is really establishing a strong business model. So the first thing you need to do before you actually get in the car and you start driving along your journey of business ownership is you got to check to make sure you have some things in place first before you actually go along your merry way. And so in order to do that as a business owner, you're going to want to collect some data. You're going to want to collect some information, and some of that information is going to be very simple. We're going to really want to identify who our ideal client is. We're going to want to think about what problem we was resolve for them. We're going to want to think about what makes us unique in the industry, especially if the service or the product that we offer is not that unique from what other people offer. So for example, if you're in the fitness industry, there's hundreds, if not millions of people who are endorsing fitness in some way. And we're going to want to start thinking about, like, how do I actually stand out? I'm so glad we created the Make Chic Happen planner for this very, very purpose. Right. But we're going to have to establish that general baseline and even some of your own beliefs about the product, the service, or the experience that you offer. So the first step of the process is to really think, okay, what is the business model that I am using? Yeah. What is the background that I need to take into consideration? So the problems that I resolve for people, the solution that is offered to them, and even the ins and outs of who your ideal client really is. And so when we created the roadmap, we gave a guide for all of this. So before you actually get into the car and you start the car and you begin going on your merry way, you actually start with phase 1. And that's going to be like, get your baseline. Get all your ducks in a row so you know exactly where you're going to go.
Yeah, knowing who you're speaking to, knowing what your ideal client's limiting beliefs are.
Yeah.
You know, just because if you don't know who you can serve and who you can serve the best, you start out sort of already grasping at straws, and it makes it really hard to move to the second phase, right? And the second phase is your marketing. So once you have that baseline, your mission statement, who you serve, you know, some of the most common objections, now you can move into your marketing. So as a business owner, you are in charge of the marketing. If you look at big corporations, they're running advertisements, they're doing social media, they're sending emails. And so as a solopreneur or small business, you are the same. You have to turn on the lights and open the doors for business. And a lot of times that is, you know, bringing in new clients does come from what you put out there on social and through email. And so what you want to think of is, what's going to be my front end marketing strategy? Is your business the type of business that would thrive with, you know, content put on TikTok? Is your business the kind of business that thrives on having a YouTube channel? Or maybe it's a Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. But you want to begin to think about, what is the platform that I would best be able to connect with my target audience, and then what's going to be my approach. And really, the Make Chic Happen planner helps you to figure that out. When it comes to Facebook and Instagram, you know, we really walk you through. So if you haven't bought your planner yet, you can go to shop.chicinfluencer.com. You can snag your copy of the planner. But our whole goal in this section is to help you with your front end marketing. How often are you posting on social, right? What is your calls to action? And then where are we directing people to? So you want to think about how you're showing up on social to connect people to your mission. But then we also want to make sure we're funneling people into our email list, right? And that's your back end marketing strategy. So many times we work with business owners and they don't have an email list at all. And you do not own the contacts and the content that is on Facebook and Instagram. It is not your platform. So if you don't get their emails or their contact information, if Facebook and Instagram go away, so does your list of people. So we want to make sure that we funnel them to back-end marketing, but also we find that that's where we close the majority of our personal sales is through the email process. It's where people get to know you a little bit more is through email. So you have to have a front-end marketing strategy and a back-end marketing strategy, and it has to be something that is consistent, because if your message is inconsistent, people are going to look at you as a wishy-washy business owner. And we need to establish ourselves as the authority and as the expert in your specific niche.
Yeah. All right. So even as I was sitting here thinking about that, I kind of giggled to myself on how many people do not have an email system. And this is a huge thing that we emphasize, not just on our social platforms, but in our community with our private clients. It does make an impact. And to be honest with you, that's where we close a lot of our sales too. So I'm putting a lot of emphasis on that. Okay. So now that we're on the road, right? So we have a full tank of gas. We're moving right along. We might have a couple hiccups along the way, might take a detour here and there. But phase 3 is going to be critical if you want to see continued growth through retention. And step number 3, phase 3, is really creating a brand loyalty or a customer loyalty program in some way. And here's what I've learned after 10 years of experience, especially having a lot of background in direct sales. There's always a heavy emphasis on new.
Yeah.
And there's always a heavy emphasis on achieving the goals through new sales instead of asking yourself, what would it look like if the customers that I had and first onboarded continued to be customers, loyal customers, or if you're in direct sales, they become members of my organization and help me duplicate success. They actually continue to grow because they've been inspired by me. And so in looking back at the customer loyalty, at first when I started my business, I was so focused on getting to the goal that I started to look at it and forget that I was building a business. Mm-hmm. And when you have a happy customers spread the word. If they love the service that they're provided or the products that they're using, and they feel like you did an excellent job of gifting them a different approach, or you resolved a problem for them, they're very likely going to speak highly of you. And so saying thank you in one way or another is a great way to build your customer loyalty program. Yeah. Now, if you don't have a customer loyalty program in place, one thing you want to ask yourself is, how do I like to be rewarded for sharing? And a lot of times we do affiliate marketing where we get rewarded for sharing products and services we love. Ask yourself, what would it look like if I started to reward my customers for sharing the gift of the product and the service that I provide? So a couple things that you might want to consider doing is, do you ask people for referrals? Do you actually ask people about the service they're providing? Is everything going well? Do you create an experience for people when they begin to work with you? Let's say that you're sharing skincare. Do you start them in the program of how to improve the problem that they personally have with their skin? And then once you start that, do you check in with them maybe 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, and talk to them about some of the things that they might be experiencing with the skincare that they have? Then do you maybe send a couple samples to them or make suggestions of other products they could be using that complement what they may be invested in or what they're using on their face? Yeah. Are you making sure that you're going out of your way to make sure that the customer experience is top notch, second to none? Yeah. And when you do this, you are going to see those repeat customers, but more importantly, you're going to see those customers speak highly of you and bring people to you. And ultimately, that's what we want on our roadmap.
We sure do. And we do here at Chic also. When you become a Chic Influencer community member and you've been in the program for, is it 3 months?
I think it's 3.
3 months. We send out a gift. We send our Chic Influencer members, we send them a notepad and a pen. And then when you've been in our program for a year, and I'm like trying to remember what this is off the top of my head. I think we have a mug that we send out, and then the next one is a free t-shirt. Yeah. So we reward our Chic Influencer community for being loyal followers and participants of our community.
We do, but we also just introduced to the affiliate program as well. So we are rewarding people when they come in and they're served well through Chic Influencer community. They can also create commissions by sharing the gift of Chic with other people. Yeah. So it was a way for both Melanie and I to give back to the people who have helped us really grow and scale, and to really make sure that they were rewarded, that they see that we recognize that they're seeing results in their business, but we're also mentoring them and guiding them, and honestly, everybody wins.
Yeah, everybody wins. It is. So if you have, that's the next step is, do you have some sort of customer loyalty program? And if you're just starting out, truly a handwritten note saying thank you for being a loyal customer goes a long way. Yep. So you can even just start right there with that. Okay, now phase 4. So now we're moving into the next phase, and phase 4 truly is saying, okay, I have the foundation. I am getting customers, I'm marketing, I know who my ideal target audience is, I'm starting to really know what I'm capable of, but you're probably starting to reach that point where you're beginning to be stretched beyond the number of hours that you can show up in your business and execute the things you want to do. You may even have ideas for expansion, but you're finding yourself saying, there's just not enough hours in the day. And for many of us, as we started initially, we didn't have the luxury of having an 8-hour day to be able to devote to the startup that we were working on. You were working as a teacher. I was raising my 2 boys. I did not financially have the ability to take my kids to daycare so that I could work. And so it was a little bit wonky at the beginning, but about 6 months into my business journey, I recognized, I had this like aha moment where I realized that, okay, there are some tasks that I'm doing that I could easily pay an admin to do. Those tasks were things like auto scheduling content inside of groups, writing monthly newsletters, doing some graphics, some recognition, some shout outs, right? Just some of the in and out sort of management of groups and memberships. And so I went out and found somebody that would work maybe 4 hours a week. And so that was the first step. I actually hired an admin. Now, I had never hired anybody in my entire life. I had no idea what to do, but I knew I needed it. And so I didn't let the fact that I didn't know how to do it hold me back. I simply Googled how to hire an admin, right? What job description. And then I created my own job description and I posted it to Facebook and Instagram that I was looking for an admin assistant. It was part-time to send the resume and the cover letter to my email. And then I just simply went through and had a conversation with each of the applicants about what the position was, that it was new, that it was virtual, that we were going to develop the position together. And that's how I found the first person to work with me. Maybe for you, your needs might be, you do need somebody to help with childcare. So maybe it is having somebody come in and watch the kids for a few hours a week, or them going out of the house so that you can devote a little more time to the business. But I started to look at what my time was worth. And I realized that some of the admin tasks were not the best use of my time. I could spend that time doing things only I could do, which were bringing in new customers, being the face of the business, getting out there, networking, and doing the social. So where are you at in your business? Are you at a point where you've been doing all of the things and you're ready to bring somebody else in? And we've done that here at Chic Influencer, right? We knew how to write newsletters and set up email campaigns, but we also knew that we couldn't do it all. And so we brought in our operations manager.
Likewise, when you are trying to do all of the things, there are things that just don't get done well. So we know that, we could write the emails, but we also know if we did, there would be a lot of errors. We would probably leave out a lot. There would be a lot of mistakes. And so it wouldn't be done as well as it could. So the benefit too of bringing people on board is you actually can do the job, but somebody can probably do it better. Now, there are certain tasks as a business owner that you are going to need to do. And so you really have to start thinking about what those certain tasks are going to be, which ones are going to be able to be delegated. And that's a huge part of the Chic roadmap that we created, is really asking yourself, okay, what does that actually look like? So let's talk about the 5th phase, which is really establishing your credibility as the expert in the industry. So not only is this a skill, we talk about how you show up on social media, the confidence that you exude, but it also is positioning yourself in a way that others begin to see you as an expert, because you are opening the door to collaboration, you are networking with more people, you are maybe speaking at events, you are doing free webinars. You are really, in a very small way to start, showcasing that ability. It's kind of like when you begin driving in general. Before you drive, you start as a passenger. And when you're a passenger, you don't really pay attention. And then you become a teenager and you start to actually learn the process of driving. So you're very observant, right? So you're observing what other people in the industry are doing. You're observing what other people around you are doing. And then you become the driver. And as a new business owner, this is that awkward stage of figuring it out, where there's a lot of failure, a lot of mistakes that you make. This is before you have it all figured out.
Yeah.
But ultimately, by the time you get to phase 5, you're feeling pretty comfortable driving, but you're excited to do some off-roading. So in phase 5, you're looking at, am I establishing my expertise and am I developing it? So you are investing in ways to actually become better at the skill. Let's go back to that example of being a fitness expert. Are you yourself still focused on your own health and wellness? Do you make it a priority? Do you position yourself on social media, in your email campaigns? Do you position yourself as an expert in what you endorse, whether that's the product, the service, or the experience? So when you look at these things, if you ask yourself, whoa, I don't think I do a really great job of establishing my credibility and my expertise, let's go back to each one of those phases. Have you completed and feel confident in what's happening in phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3? And if you aren't there yet, go back. Take a step back in your journey and go, all right, I need to maybe spend a little bit of time in phase 1. Or maybe I need to go back and really look at how can I become more effective at delegating. If you go through each one of these phases, you're not only going to see business growth, but you're going to see confidence. You're going to see more freedom in your own life, and you're going to be ultimately more at peace with wherever it is that you are taking your business. And this Chic roadmap that we developed, it is thorough. It has a lot of information. And we really, because it's a short podcast, we only have so much time to cover each block of it.
Right.
But we go into a lot of detail. And this is something that we are going to be teaching throughout the 2022 year in the Chic Influencer community. But we only open enrollment to the community a few times a year. And we're not quite there yet, but we can tell you that as we get really excited about opening the doors for the Chic Influencer community, you're going to want to get on the wait list because it is a first come, first served basis. And we want to make sure that you have a spot to really take a look at this roadmap. And on top of that, learn all of the skills and strategies through myself and Melanie and the team at Chic to really grow your business in the new year.
Yeah, so in the show notes, we're just going to drop the Chic Influencer community waitlist because we want you to get on that so that when we do open up enrollment, that you can be one of the first people to know about it. And again, the roadmap really is the guide. And as you've been going through today, you know, I hope you've made that mental note of which phase that you are in. And one of the big things that we love about this roadmap is when people become members of the community, an annual member, you get this roadmap, and we actually have connected training. So we've actually connected the trainings that we've done on each of these phases. So you can actually come into the community, open up the roadmap, and then you can say, okay, I'm in phase 1. These are the trainings I can watch. Or Katy and I will be doing live trainings on that specific phase. And so you'll really be able to go in and go to the part that you need and be able to pull from, oh my gosh, we will have like 3 full years of Chic Influencer community trainings for you to pull from. So it is like an organized, it's just a beautiful hub for you as a business owner to make sure you're getting what you need to see growth in your business, right? No more just sort of grabbing at straws, hoping that you grab the right one.
I love it. So thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Make Chic Happen podcast. We will see you next time.
So if you loved today's episode, make sure you head over to wherever you listened to the episode today and leave us a rating and review. And also take a little screenshot and tag us on Chic Influencer. We'll feature you in our stories. Plus, we'd love to get your feedback and hear from our listeners.
Until next week, let's make chic happen.